With respect to the examination classes that have already resumed learning, I hereby order that they continue with their learning and examination preparations, but under heightened health safety measures, and with that, also order that all basic education classes resuming in-person learning in January of 2021. 4, to foster the state's preparedness towards the reopening of all classes in our learning institutions in January, I urge and encourage members of Parliament to engage their respective NGAF and CDF boards with a view of finding ways to augment the existing interventions that are geared towards the reopening of our schools. I urge them to make investments that focus on additional hand-washing points in our schools, on the provision of face masks to our children, on general sanitization in our schools, as well as the physical distancing of students and teachers. Number 5, that all political gatherings and rallies are suspended for a period of 60 days, and this to take effect immediately. And anyone wishing to hold such meetings should do so in town halls, and in doing so, must observe all COVID protocols, including limiting the attendees to 1/3 seating capacity of the hall and the wearing of face masks. And that 6, to enforce compliance at both the national and county levels, I direct the Ministry of Interior to constitute a special enforcement unit made up of the National Police Service, the National Government Administration officers, supplemented by the county government inspectorate units, to jointly enforce all COVID protocols. And that 7, that the nationwide curfew is extended up to the 3rd of January 2021. And 8, that beginning tonight, the 4th of November, the curfew will now be enforced between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning. And 9, in consequence of the variation of the 10 p.m. curfew, all bars, restaurants, and other establishments open to the public must now close by 9 p.m. 10, in view of the restrictions within the hospitality sector, I further urge all operators of hotels, restaurants, eateries, bars, and other establishments that sell alcohol on wholesale or retail terms to do all that is necessary to ensure enhanced compliance with the Ministry of Health's guidelines and protocols, and those who fail will have their establishments immediately shut down. 11, that the directions governing religious gatherings remain unchanged. Any indoor religious gathering, other than for the purpose of a wedding or a funeral, shall have no more than 1/3 of its normal seating capacity occupied at a given sitting. The Ministry of Health guidelines remain in force. The Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government is hereby directed to ensure strict enforcement, and those who fail to meet those requirements will be stopped from further gatherings. And 12, county governments to maintain isolation facilities in a state of preparedness through continuous capacity building for healthcare workers, provision of adequate PPEs for healthcare workers, and continuous implementation of infection prevention control measures, and the provision of pipes or portable oxygen.